7 Days to Die is a vast open-world zombie survival crafting game offering dozens of skills and perks to specialize, with hundreds of buildings and points of interest to explore and scavenge, thousands of blocks and shapes to build your own home or zombie fighting horde base. For new players, it can be a bit overwhelming, and you will most likely end up dying multiple times before getting a grasp on how to survive in this zombie world. This video will not cover every aspect of the game, as that would take hours. Instead, I'm gonna be focusing on the most important tips to give you a great start. The timestamps on this video might be different for everybody, since it will depend on RNG and luck when loading. With that in mind, let's get started. For new players, I recommend not changing the difficulty settings until you learn the game. In my opinion, the default settings has the perfect balance for newcomers. When you first spawn into the world, you are most likely in the middle of nowhere. Your primary objective today should be finding some food, shelter, and other basic needs. Most specifically, a cooking pot and a shelter should be your top priority. A cooking pot is needed to make boiled water. You can find canned food which you can consume right away, but finding readily available drinks is a bit trickier. Mostly, you'll find murky water which is not fit for consumption and must be boiled before drinking, hence the need of cooking pot. Uncooked water has a chance to give you dysentery, which can be problematic early game. Do not drink from ponds and rivers directly without water filter mod, as these are also considered murky water. In terms of shelter, you need to find one before night falls. The zombies are very dangerous during the night, so it is highly recommended to stay indoors. Utilizing already existing house or building to set up a shelter is the easiest way to do it. For that, you need to locate the nearest town. Start by doing the initial basic challenges by pressing Y, or you can press tab and access the challenge window from there. Follow the steps that appear in the top right corner. After you finish, it will tell you where the first trader is. Traders are always on the outskirts of towns, so this is also your navigation to your first town. Before you visit the trader, make sure to gather some more grass and craft the full primitive armor set and equip it. They offer some armor value which will protect you, and it is better than wearing nothing. Also, you will have 4 skill points for finishing the initial challenges. Advanced players spend these points differently according to their playstyle, but for new players, I highly recommend putting all these points towards getting the stuntman in parkour. This perk allows you to jump 2 blocks high instead of 1, which can save your life in many nasty situations, such as running away from zombie dogs or crazy feral zombies, as you can easily jump over fences or get on top of a place where zombies can't reach you. The zombies only jump 1 block high, so you can take this opportunity to escape or fight back. After putting 3 points into agility and 1 point into parkour, you will need 1 more point to learn the jump, which you can get the next time you level up. Speaking of fighting the zombies, there's most likely a POI right next to you where you spawned. These POIs are usually low tier, 0 or 1, and you can start looting that place if you want. The name and the difficulty of the POI will appear when you are in close proximity. Be careful, as in very rare occasions, this first POI could be high tier POI with landmines or stronger zombies. If that is the case, just skip it and head for the trader. In this case, this POI is tier 0. Let's get inside. There will be zombies inside, so proceed with caution. By this point, you should already have bow and arrows from the initial challenges. Try to sneak headshot the zombies, as sneak attacks deal huge amounts of bonus damage, and it will take down the zombies with 1 hit on default difficulty settings. When fighting with melee weapon, create a space in between you and the zombies after each hit. Doing this makes it harder for the zombies to hit you back. Pay very close attention to your stamina bar. Run away and create some space if you're low on stamina, and let it recover. Without stamina, you cannot really escape the zombies, and even on default settings, they can go into rage mode and start chasing you faster. Avoid getting hit at all costs, because there is a chance that zombies could infect you if they manage to hit you. If that happens, you need to cure the infection right away before it gets out of control. An infection can be cured by eating honey or drinking antibiotics. A guaranteed way to cure infection early in the game is to find tree stumps and harvest them for a chance to drop a jar of honey. Antibiotics are a little harder to come by, but you can find them in medical loots or buy from the traders. Alright, we're done here. Let's go to the trader. On the way to the trader, try collecting a bit more stone, wood, and feathers to craft some more arrows. Here at the trader, start your day by doing your very first job. This job will be an introductory job. You need to retrieve buried supplies by digging up a ground. While you're digging, make sure you can jump back out at any time since a zombie will spawn after you get the supplies. After finishing the initial job, I do recommend getting the machine gun bundles over the others. Pipe machine gun is an automatic weapon that uses 7.62s as an ammo, and it is extremely powerful weapon early game. Pipe rifle and pipe shotgun have very long reload speed, and it is not recommended for beginners, and pipe pistol is just too weak. The secondary option could be pipe baton bundle, and you could specialize in stun baton perks, but we'll talk about perks and skills later on. Okay, let's continue doing some more jobs. Doing jobs is a great way to get some reward and navigate through the world, as it will guide you starting from the lowest tier POIs. Going into unknown high tier POIs on your own without proper armor and weapon is not recommended for new players. I recommend doing clear area jobs or fetch jobs for newcomers. Buried supply jobs can take a lot of time without proper shovel, and night-only jobs can get scary. Another great thing about doing job right away is that you can set up a shelter in one of those POIs after it's cleared. And of course, there's a chance that you can find the cooking pot in the kitchens, which we talked about in the beginning of this video. The easiest and safest way to set up a shelter is on rooftops or in attic of buildings, somewhere the zombies cannot reach you. Put down your land claim block, craft some storage boxes, and store your items to avoid getting encumbered. Destroy or block the ways where zombies could come. A fireplace, bed, and our shelter is done. Unfortunately, we couldn't find any pots. We'll try again tomorrow, or we can buy from the traders since we are making some money. Alright, we just leveled up. Let's put that point into stuntman. Now we can jump 2 meter high, which will be a lifesaver someday. Now let's talk about specialization. There are many different builds and playstyles, and advanced players have their own preference and opinion on this. Additionally, putting points into a perk not only makes you proficient in that skill, but also it increases the chances of finding skill magazine books for that certain perk. To keep it simple for the beginners, start investing points into melee weapon perks. It will be the most efficient way, as early in the game you will heavily rely on melee weapons. There are 6 different types of melee weapons: clubs, spears, batons, sledgehammer, knives, and fists. The last 3 weapons are not recommended for newcomers, as knives and fists have very short range and sledgehammers consume too much stamina. I personally recommend clubs, spears, or batons, since you can get pipe batons from completing the initial job, and clubs and spears are easy to craft and easy to use. You could put a point into gun perks to increase the chances of finding gun books. However, I really do not recommend putting points into gun perks in the first week, as ammos are gonna be scarce anyways, so you will not have much chance to put those skill points into use. In terms of other perks, I personally like putting a point into advanced engineering and 1 point into grease monkey. As I mentioned, this will help me to find forge books and vehicle books so that I can craft a workbench and a mini bike early on. Also, I like sneaking in 1 point into master chef at some point. With only 1 point, you save up 20% of ingredients and 40% of time on cooking. But then again, this is just my personal preference. Alright, it's already day 2, and unfortunately we could not really find the cooking pot. So let's go ahead and buy the cooking pot from the trader. I need to cook this murky water. We're kinda getting thirsty. At this point, food, drinks, and shelter issue has been resolved. For the next few days, keep doing jobs, loot some places, gather some resources and supplies, and improve your armors and weapons. Speaking of armor, with the release of full version of 7 Days to Die, there are many different types of armor set that you can specialize in. Armor crafting is also a very big thing now as compared to the previous version of the game. And frankly speaking, I am considering the meta of putting 1 point into medium armor perk early on, as it lets you find more armor, armor parts and skill magazine books in loot. It is a very big topic that deserves its own video. I'm gonna be dropping a video soon on the best armor combination that I have came out with, so make sure to follow the channel. Eventually, by day 3 or 4, depending on how much jobs you did, you would have completed the tier 1 jobs. When you complete tier 1, make sure to choose bicycle as a reward. It will give you more mobility and inventory space on the move, as it is way better choice than the other rewards. Moreover, you should have a new special job leading to a new trader. You don't have to visit the new trader right away, but if you have some coins to spend, you can visit and do some shopping. As you complete the tiers, you will be unlocking different traders. The traders specialize in different items, such as Trader Bob specializing in robotics, Rex specializing in farming and food, Jen specializing in medical supplies, Q specializing in guns and weapons, and Joe specializing in armor. With that being said, on day 5, it is time for us to start preparing for the Horde. The Blood Moon zombie horde is not to be underestimated. They are extremely dangerous swarm of zombies who will find you wherever you are and try to take you down at all costs. Proper preparation is needed to take on the horde. Now, the day 7 horde on default settings should not be that crazy, so a simple base setup should work, but as you survive longer, the game stage increases. The subsequent zombie hordes will be much tougher and crazier. I have a whole playlist on horde base design, so make sure to check them out and plan your base. I will leave a link in the description below, but for now, let's build a base for our very first horde. Alright, it's the morning of day 5. Let us start preparing for the horde. I like building my base early on just to be, 100% prepared for the horde. And usually you should not build your base where your storage and stations are, but this time, just for demonstration purposes, let us just build a base on top of this POI. It is already made out of concrete, which is gonna provide us much more structural stability. As we can see, it's 5000 HP. And let us just extend pole from here, and we are gonna be building and going for a very common pole walk base. I mean, on default settings, the very first horde should not be that hard. And I have already crafted myself few cobblestone blocks yesterday. You can really easily craft cobblestone with clay and stone. And with the cobblestone, you can craft the cobblestone cubes right away. Alright, I'm thinking of building my base here, huh? Yeah, these lamps are gonna be a bit of problem. I could destroy these lamps because when the zombies drop down, they are gonna be standing here like this. So they are not gonna be falling down. So let us just build over it. Now when the zombies fall down, they can just free fall down to the ground. Hold R to go to shapes menu. Let's select the middle pillar, 0.025 meter pole, and let's go to advanced rotation. Choose this exact orientation and let us extend until the building indicator turns red. Alright, now it's red, which means it's no longer gonna support any more poles. If I put one more, the entire thing is gonna collapse. Let us start making a very basic stairs. And let us not forget to build this corner stairs to make the zombies easier for them to get up. Alright, it's basically down now. All we need to do is make the face of the base here. And I'm going to be using a little trick here. We are going to be placing this ramp block sideways. Let's go to advanced rotation. There we go. And put this on top as well. This is going to guide the zombies to the side way, making the, the zombie loop more smoother. And let us build up one more block and make the face of the base 4 blocks high. We do have enough cobblestone, so let us fill in on the sides as well, and let's put some roof. On day 7 horde, you don't really gonna get zombie birds, but it's nice to have some roof. It's a little bit ugly. Can I put one more here? Oh, yep. Alright, the base is done. It's very simple base. So we have a stair here. Zombies will be coming up top here, running along this pole, and then they're gonna get pushed to the side gently, basically fall down here, loop around, and over again. And we are gonna be standing in this window, doing some melee damage, and that's about it, man. Utilizing already existing POI and building something like this is the easiest way to deal with the first few hordes. This is not gonna handle the endgame horde, but it is gonna protect you for a few weeks. And we have to remember that we gotta destroy any other path that zombies may take, which is we have a one staircase here leading up there. So let's destroy this first ladder. There we go. And then with the first 2 blocks empty, the zombies will not be able to jump to this ladder, but we can. All right, it's day 5. Our horde base is done. Let us continue doing some jobs, loot some places, get some more ammo, weapons, supplies, and let us take on the horde. To wrap up things, here are the key survival points of this video. On day 1, set up a shelter. Cooking pot by day 2 to resolve food and drink issue. Keep doing jobs and loot places to collect resources and supplies. And start working on your base 1 or 2 days before the blood moon. There are many details and tips that I haven't included in this video, but if you survive your first week, you should be good for the rest of the days. After all, open world survival crafting games are meant to have fun exploring and learning through trial and error. For experienced veteran players out there, let me know if I have missed any major survival tips. And if you have any questions, let me know, I will answer them in the comment section. And finally, newcomers, welcome to 7 Days to Die. Alright, with that being said, let's smack some zombies. There we go, horde is done, base worked fine. Thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Have a great day and peace.